Hey guys, what's going on? I'm back again with another Procreate process, and I'm also back with another kind of Procreate discussion. So I want to kind of go over a few things. So for the longest time, I haven't really been using reference. And when I do use reference, I enjoy using reference, but for the longest time, I've been doing imaginative stuff from my mind. And that has its advantages and disadvantages. Advantages are you kind of will get more skilled at just being confident with your drawing. Disadvantages are that a lot of the time your stuff will just look like it's been drawn from your mind, versus things that are drawn from reference tend to have a little bit more of a realism, or a little bit more of a grounding, right? Because things are based on things that have existed, right? If you're using reference, especially photo reference, what's happening is you have a snippet of a bunch of elements that have existed for thousands of years, whether it be the chemicals that exist within the person that you've taken a picture of, or an environment. These things are structures that have been built up. A human body has been built up by generations of evolution and whatever, and the environment, the structures and stuff have been built up from elements that existed on the planet, RE stone and all of these things, and you are taking a picture of those things and you are drawing those things, right? So you're taking something from reality, which is the ultimate, and you are kind of replicating it, or you're using it to help you and guide you, right? So this video is about using reference, but not just copying the reference, not doing a study, not just doing a complete, I draw the reference and I change the character's face a little bit and I say it's my own character, kind of like what Sam Does Art does. And that's not a bad thing, because I do that too. But this is more about using reference and then kind of like using it to create your own scenes. So for example, if you have a picture of someone, you kind of put them in a scene and you draw the body. Maybe you use some of the body in the reference, but you use most of the time you just use like their face and stuff like that and their hair, and then you kind of implement them into a scene. So you're kind of just using parts of the reference to help you along, instead of using reference fully and almost like copying the reference one for one with some changes, which isn't a bad thing either, because you're still sourcing your own reference and you're still having to draw that thing with your own spin on it, right? But for example, so this painting you're seeing in the background now is a friend of mine, and I just thought she had a good look, so I thought I'll paint her. It'll be fun, especially to experiment with my new kind of like very solid paint style. So I did, right? And as you can see in the image, probably by now, and I don't know because I record this audio separate from the time lapses of the art, sorry guys, but she has a dog, right? And she loves the dog, and I thought it'd be cool if I put a giant wolf in the picture, right? But her dog's a husky, so I thought, yeah, huskies are technically wolves. So she sent me a picture of the dog, a separate picture, and from that picture I said, okay, I'm gonna whip it up. And I whipped up her sat at some kind of like imaginary bar with the dog, and the dog huge. And that was basically the painting, and you'll see it as the time lapse goes on. But that was two separate pieces of reference, and I made the bar up from my own mind, just from my experience and practice. But this is a good way to just get out and experiment. It's a good way to kind of build up skills. It's a good way to think about making scenes and stuff like that, and maybe possibly doing some storytelling, because I'd say that this is a storytelling piece to a degree. I have these weird kind of OCD blocks on my mind though. Like for me, a storytelling scene has to be in widescreen for some reason. That's just how I see it. Like a storytelling scene has to be like a scene from a movie. So it has to be shot in widescreen. It can't be shot in portrait, because it just doesn't make sense. But that isn't true, because comic books for the most part are stories, and a lot of their covers are portrait. So, but end of the day, guys, as I said, just try and find a few pieces of reference. Try and put things together without photo manipulation. Put them together via drawing and see how you go. Think about the placement of things. Maybe do a rough kind of drawing outline, and then think, okay, if I go and shoot some reference on my phone for these people, or if I use my friend's social media pictures or whatever, or it could be anyone's social media pictures, and then I draw a version of that and kind of patch it together. What scene can I create, and that's really all this is about. This is just another technique. Try patchworking some kind of characters into a scene together. Maybe you've got 2 people you watch on YouTube and you want to draw them in the same scene, or you want to draw them fighting or something like that. Go find the reference and then bring it in, you know. But that's all I've really got for this one. This one's a short one, guys. Thank you for watching. I appreciate all the likes and subscribes, and I really would appreciate if you guys shared this. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. My Instagrams are in the description. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.